Hey everyone, it's Teany Hidalgo, your burnout breakthrough coach. And I'm super excited. I actually haven't been live on LinkedIn, I think since last year. So this is actually quite exciting for me to get back in here. Woo! Today we are talking about how to find clarity, career clarity when burnout has you frozen. And oof, this is going to be a good topic today. So feel free to type in questions, and if you have anything to add that you're interested in learning about or just anything at all as I go through each of the topics that I'm going to talk about today, please feel free. I'm really, really excited about running this today. And yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to see if I can look at my LinkedIn at the same time. That way I can answer any questions as we go. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to type and see if I can type in the chat here. Oh, can't type in the chat. That's okay. I can still get it to work. All right. Well, in any case, let's get started. So today we're going to talk about careers. We're going to talk about burnout, and we're going to talk about things that you can do to support yourself as we go through this incredible transition. There's a lot going on, and that's actually the first thing I want to talk about. Ooh, what is happening in the world right now? So the current state of the world, I'm not going to get into all the details of it all, but you know that it includes a lot of economic insecurity and uncertainty. There's layoffs happening left and right. And, AI disruption, it's probably the cause of some of those layoffs at the moment. And just the rising cost of living because of a lot of the political stuff that's going on in the political landscape. So all of this to say that it's all impacting our mental well-being, our nervous systems, our bodies, like our families, our relationships, like you name it. Like there's a little bit of everything being affected right now. And so I want to just really support you in helping you know and understand that you're not alone, that this is actually happening to all of us right now. So if you're feeling a little bit out of sorts with yourself and what's happening in your world, know that that's like a small version of what's happening probably, US wide if you're in the States, and also like worldwide, because I think that, even things that happen in a local place affects the broader landscape and the broader communities. So know that you're not alone. And then the other thing I want to talk about is that, most people aren't just tired from work, right? Because of the landscape and everything that's going on, they're tired from carrying the fear of the unknown. Because right now, because of the upheaval of everything that's happening, we just don't know what's going to be happening in the world. And, it's interesting because I've done a little bit of research in the past about times like this when there's either a recession or something big happens. And this is the time where millionaires get made, right? Where your people's lives can change, where, monies change generations, right? Because of all the changes that are happening in the world. And so I know that just from like witnessing people that it affects you, but know that there's potential here as well for it to go in a very positive direction. But let's talk a little bit more about the burnout side of things and how things can affect you in your own body and yourself. So I studied medical massage for a while in New York. I became a medical massage therapist back in 2009 and studied in New York. And now I'm doing it here as well in Sedona, Arizona, as well as coaching and all the things that I do. And I seen the toll that these things take on the physical body. And because of this crisis mode, because of the unknown, because of the fears, because of all the disruptions that are happening in our lives right now, it feels like we're holding it all. We're holding it all in. We're holding it on our shoulders, on our minds, and our bodies. So it can take a toll over time. So burnout is a very common side effect of all these different things that are happening right now. And it's really not just about like, oh, I'm overdoing. Yes, I'm overworking and all these different things. Yes, those are contributors for sure. But it's also about not knowing what to do next and not understanding, even what's happening in our present time and place. So I want you to know that you're not alone and that burnout, body aches and pains, all these different things, mental, nervous system, all those things are and probably will be affected as we progress with whatever is going on in the world at the moment. So I want you to know that I understand you, you're not alone, and I'm here for you. So just know that there's going to be support here for you in this session. And also that we're all in this together, right? We're all in the same container, experiencing and processing and determining our next step. So don't worry, we're going to move in this together. So the second thing I want to get into is why traditional career advice isn't really helping right now. Well, one, we're in the middle of an upheaval caused by AI, which in my opinion, my perspective on AI is that it's like money. Money isn't good or bad. It all depends on who's handling it, right? So AI can actually be an incredibly helpful tool, or it can be used to destroy things, right? Like it can go either way. So when it comes to career, generic advice like, oh, network more, follow your passion, like, all that stuff just feels tone deaf when your nervous system is in fight or flight. And when the whole landscape of what's happening in the world is literally changing below our feet as we speak, right? So it doesn't make sense to do that anymore. And we were never really taught how to navigate our own inner alignment, only external achievement and external doing and all that stuff, right? So we need to sort of start wheeling it back, bringing it back in, and really bringing in real clarity, right? And real clarity comes from tuning into yourself, tuning into what's going on in the world, and tuning into what do I think I need to do next? What do I, process it in your own body before you act. So it's not just chasing another role on autopilot. It's actually spending the time to process and to really think about what you're going to do based on what's going on in the world before you actually do it. Okay. So if that resonates with you, drop a yes in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, drop a yes too. So if you know what I'm saying, you know that it's time to really do the inner work. And that's why I talk about getting deeper into your values, into your meaning, into aspects that actually matter. Fold that into the research, along with the talent, skills, and growth areas that are naturally going to be part of your career journey, correct? Okay. So that's why traditional career advice doesn't work anymore, and why we need to start going deeper into what we actually value, what brings us meaning, and what talents and things we want to bring out into the world. It starts within first. So now let's talk about how burnout disguises itself as I should be so grateful. So I'm a big fan of gratitude. Don't get me wrong. I love gratitude, and I give gratitude every single day for all the work that I'm doing and all the support that I'm offering and all the things that I receive and all of that. But I should be grateful is often, and that kind of too far out toxic positivity often masks itself as emotional exhaustion, self-abandonment, and fear of starting over. So I don't want you to mix the two together. Okay. You can be grateful and still be in alignment and based in a practical reality. And you can also be grateful and feel burnt out, right? That kind of bypassing of the problem to be just positive will lead to trouble because it's not addressing the deeper reason of what's going on with you. It's about embracing the sign, your body, the signs multiple, because you have multiple things going on, mind, body, and spirit, that your bodies are giving you that something is off, and digging into the meaning, realignment, refocusing, and coming back to a balance with a plan, right? So taking all of that, all of the signs that you're receiving about how you feel about things, how you're processing things, and not just marinating in that. I'm not saying that either. I'm saying bring that along with the gratitude and everything else, and start refocusing yourself. Start again focusing on the things that bring you meaning, bring you joy, are of big value to you, are part of your human needs, all those different aspects of yourself, and refocusing those and coming back together with a plan. Because burnout isn't always just about collapse. Sometimes it looks like success that quietly drains you because you're really not focusing on the things that are truly important to you and that really matter. You're focusing on everything else and then allowing the things that are happening in the landscape to add to that, right? We don't want that. So, what have you been tolerating or bypassing out of guilt, fear, or obligation that maybe you need to take a closer look at, right? Are you feeling things? Are you feeling things in your body, mind, and spirit that's telling you, like, hold on, stop, take a moment? This is not the direction you should be going, or maybe you shouldn't be here right now. You shouldn't stay here. You should start looking at other options, at other avenues. Start feeling into that in your mind, body, and spirit, and see, what you're feeling about it. So I'd love to hear from you guys. What have you been tolerating or bypassing out of guilt, fear, or obligation? Definitely type it in the comments and let me know what's going on, how you feel about things, what's happening in your world aside from, what's happening in the landscape of the broader world right now. I'm super curious to know. And for those of you watching the replay, you can still comment and I'll come back to that post and respond to you. Okay? Let me take off this volume. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is the 3 things to do when you're paralyzed about work. And I know a lot of you out there right now are in a little bit of career paralysis. And I totally get it. Again, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, but I want to give you grounded, actionable insight, not fluffy stuff, right? I want to give you the real of what you can be doing right now to start realigning and refocusing on the things that are going to help you move the needle on where things are happening in your life. So the first tip is zoom out before you burn out. So I want you to journal from your 90-year-old self and ask yourself, what would your 90-year-old self say about this moment right now? I'm super curious what that looks like for you. So zoom out before you burn out, journal from your 90-year-old self and ask yourself, what would they say about you in this moment? When you picture yourself in that 90-year-old self, it's a different version of you. It's a more resourceful, more aligned individual who's already been through whatever you've been through or whatever you're going through right now, right? It's a version of you that already has the insights, that already has the information, the support, the all the things that can actually help you. So think about yourself from the 90-year-old self perspective and like write, journal out. What would I say to myself in those moments? This moment right now about the stuff that I'm actually going through. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, I want you to audit your energy, not just your calendar. I love this. I love these like ways of saying things. Audit your energy, not just your calendar, which means color code what fuels versus drains you this week. I want you to do an audit, basically, of all the things that you're doing this week, of all the things that, whether it's like, meetings, work stuff, events that you're going to with people, just maybe even some day to day stuff, things that are substantial for you. And I want you to color code them and basically like use whatever color code you want. Let's say red is for like the things that drain you and green are the things that fuel you. And the yellow is like the things kind of in between that maybe either don't do either one or do a little bit of both, right? And I want you to subtract one red thing from your calendar or give it to someone else to support you with. Because I think we need to start subtracting the things that aren't really aligned to where we need to be and that really drain us. Okay. And I want you to figure out whether it's something that you can subtract for yourself or on your own, or if you still need to do it, who can support you with that? Maybe it's your kid. Maybe it's your husband, your wife. Who in your life right now is able to support you in moving that in a more positive direction, or can you remove it altogether? Okay. The third thing I want you to do is ask, is this misalignment or fear of change? There's a lot going on right now in the world. And I think what we need to start looking at is when we're sitting in ourselves and we're thinking about our lives and all the things that we're doing, our careers, our relationships, and all the things, why is that thing bringing you, draining you, and not aligned with you anymore? Are you able to get rid of it? Or are you fearing moving forward in your life? Fear often shows up when we're getting close to the truth, right? It's not a stop sign, it's a sign to slow down and listen. I just did a whole video on this that talked about what I've learned in this town where I'm living in right now in Sedona about really slowing down. Because when you can slow down, everything becomes more apparent. You can actually see and feel, it's almost palpable what you're able to experience in your life and whether it's actually bringing you in a positive direction or actually bringing you a negative direction. And then it's up to you. It's your choice to say, hey, I'm going to stay here in fear. And maybe you have a, like, or I can move forward. And then, if you can't, then it's a fear of change, right? And if you can, then it's like you getting back into alignment with yourself. So that's the last thing I want you to do. I want you to ask yourself, is this misalignment or fear of change, whatever's going on in yourself right now? Okay. So message me in the comments and let me know if you've tried any of these and how it has supported you. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about before I get into tomorrow's course that I want to get into, I'm actually doing a whole career masterclass. Your dream job masterclass. It starts tomorrow. I want to talk now about how human design and nervous system awareness create real career clarity. All right. So, human design helps you understand how you make decisions. Okay. Um, Enneagrams is a little different. Personality test is also a little different. They all kind of give you a little piece, right? Human design, I feel, gives you the blueprint, the full blueprint of how you make decisions, where you're most prone to burnout, and what work actually energizes you. And I mean, it goes into a lot more than that. It goes into relationships, what environment you best operate in, um, how you basically solve problems in the world, what's like your MO, um, what you even came into the world to do in a bigger purpose, meaning picture. There's a whole lot that human design can actually support with. And so, but for the sake of this discussion here, I want to talk about how it really helps you understand how you make decisions, where you're most prone to burnout, and what work actually energizes you so that you don't burn out. Nervous system awareness teaches you when you're acting from fear versus alignment, right? And most people try to figure these things out with their mind. And this work, working with human design, helps you feel into what's right and what's sustainable and what the blueprint for you is to create the most aligned life so that you don't have burnout, so that you can manage your nervous system and become more aware of the things that when you're off alignment or on alignment or fearful or whatever the case is. So, and this is in particular is the work that I talk about in the Dream Job Accelerator. It's basically a self-paced journey that helps you get unstuck, realign with your purpose, and map your next step without pressure or perfectionism. And for those who really want to go deeper, I offer one-on-one sessions also to personalize it. But the point is really to use that human design blueprint. It's almost like your book of life, right? And there's different chapters, and each chapter kind of tells you a different aspect of who you are, how you work in relationships with people, right? What careers are best suited for you based on, what you came into this world to do, how you operate, what environments are best for you, where you get the most energy versus where you get drained and you burn out. So it's an actually amazing field of human design, and it can really help you get deep into who you are and what you were meant to do and the best sort of landscape that you can build for yourself to operate in the best way. It's amazing. So, all that said, I'm offering the Dream Job Accelerator Masterclass starting tomorrow, and you basically get a pre-work where you can get into your human design and know what that is. And then I'll ask you a few questions in there so that you can start basically learning yourself again, understanding yourself again, and really figuring out, the baseline, like where are you? what's going on right now. Okay. And so you don't need to leap right now, right? I don't expect you to go from 0 to 100 overnight. This is a process where you get to learn about yourself and reintegrate into who you are, realign yourself to where you're supposed to be, moving in the right direction. So if this conversation resonated with you, I invite you to explore tomorrow the Dream Job Accelerator. It's not about chasing your next job, it's really about getting alignment with yourself first and then determining what your next best step will be. Okay? So I hope that this really helped you. Have a look at the replay again and learn the 3 things that I talked about to do when you're paralyzed about work. I'm telling you, those 3 things alone will get you started in the right direction. And then tomorrow I want you to join me for the Dream Job Accelerator, and we can talk a lot more in depth about your human design, your blueprint, and all the things that will be supporting you and moving forward with your career, not just your career, your relationships, how you operate in the world, and really how you shine best in the world. Again, it's not just about your dream job, it's about creating that dream environment where you thrive with your career, relationships, and everything else in alignment. So, that said, I'm going to drop the link below as soon as I close this live, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And if you want to separately just get a human design session as a one off, that's totally fine too. I can help you with that. And that way you can start to realign yourself and figure out what is the best next step for you. Okay. So I will see you guys soon. And I hope to see you tomorrow in tomorrow's Dream Job Accelerator Masterclass. Okay. Take care, and I'll see you next time.